In 1979, John Coleman Jr. established the Peter Paul Development Center in the parish hall of St. Peter's Church in the heart of Richmond's East End. For many people, Richmond's East End is a difficult place to love. It is home to the densest concentration of public housing south of New York City. Poverty and illiteracy are handed down through the generations like family heirlooms. But John Coleman loved this place. He loved its people. He loved what he knew it could become, and he put that love into action by forming the Peter Paul Development Center as a safe place for children to come after school. In 2009, we celebrate Peter Paul's 30th birthday. That small, safe place has grown into a robust after-school and summer program that serves over 100 children. We offer intensive instruction that engages and challenges them to become productive citizens in the new world of the 21st century. More than ever, we are putting John Coleman's legacy of love into action. A child living in Richmond's East End faces challenges unimaginable to people who live in just about any other section of the city. 41% are born to single mothers. They are likely to live in public housing or poorly maintained subsidized housing. At some point, half of them will spend time in foster care or in the care of a grandparent. Less than half of the adults have high school diplomas, and many cannot read or write. The children live and play around drug dealers and gang violence, and even walking to and from school could be fatal. Once at school, conditions are no better. Students are not allowed to take textbooks home. They must ask the teachers for toilet paper in order to use the restroom. And the high school has been dubbed by Newsweek magazine as one of the dropout factories of the United States. One of the few places a child can find shelter from that indifferent world is the Peter Paul Development Center.
From the inception of the Peter Paul Development Center, it has always been a beacon of hope for residents here in the Churchill community. It started as a voting precinct for many of the neighbors here. It has always provided lunch for senior citizens 2 days a week, as well as been a refuge for young children hanging out on the corners with no place to go. We like to see it as a safe haven for the community where we're able to be each other's keeper or our neighbor's keeper. Along with meals and emergency assistance, as well as voter registration, we've also provided community program with the Unity Civic League. We are partners with the Central Virginia Food Bank and many other local Richmond institutions.
In recent years, the work of Peter Paul has struck a chord in the wider Richmond community. Attitudes are changing from indifference to wanting to make a difference. Recently, a broad base of supporters came together to fund a new facility that would expand the number of children that Peter Paul serves and enhance its ability to offer a wide range of programs. This generosity resulted in a 10,000-square-foot building, complete with a computer lab, dedicated classroom, tutoring and study spaces, a library, an industrial-grade kitchen, and a multi-use gymnasium and stage area.
There are 1,500 school-age children in Churchill alone, and we are only able to provide services for a very small few children. We initially thought when the building opened, we would open with 75 kids. To our chagrin, when we opened with 100+ kids. We see this growth explosion as an affirmation of our mission. We now have young people back on our waiting list. We pull from 28 different schools in the Richmond and surrounding community. We have parents driving to bring their children across town to the Peter Paul Development Center. So we think that that is a good thing.
Further affirmation of our mission is evidenced by the many community partners that have joined us and are now at work in the East End.
One of the more exciting aspects of the center are the numerous partners that have chosen to give of their time, talent, and resources due to the expanded space and the ability to service more children. we have been able to really bring forth many of the religious institutions, especially churches in this particular community, corporations, and foundations. They've all come forward because they are committed to making a difference to the least in this community, Richmond's East End.
Just as the community is changing the way it engages with the East End, Peter Paul is changing as well. In 2007, national standards testing administered by the Education School at Virginia Commonwealth University qualified the degrees to which children who come to the Peter Paul Development Center are academically disadvantaged.
We found that the scores were a little bit in discrepancy with the grades that the kids had brought back from school. Some of them had been honor roll students, but we found that compared nationally, about 40% of the kids were well below 1 to 2 grade levels of academic functioning. About another 40 were one grade below academic functioning, and then maybe another 10% were on grade level or a little bit above, and roughly around 5% were in the gifted range. So there were some kids that were significantly above the national averages. When Reverend Washington saw those scores, she was even more determined to have the education component of this program be really strong and be more than just an after-school recreational program with supplementing the homework that the children bring in. So now we're trying to do academic enrichment as well as the homework, and we're trying to continue providing a lot of outside activities, focusing on arts and music and dance, and just helping build their self-image and self-esteem, as well as introducing foreign languages. We now teach both French and Spanish. So we really have a wide array of experiences for the kids to take part in.
As we mark our 30th birthday, Peter Paul Development Center celebrates our history as a beacon of hope in a community too often associated with hopelessness. But more than celebrating our history, we are energized about the future. Already, we are seeing the results of our renewed academic focus through improved classroom performance. Together with our partners, we are helping Richmond's East End shed its unfortunate legacy and build a new future forged in the twin fires of hope and achievement.
I like that they have lots of different extra programs that you can take to help you in school, and that they also have different activities. Here they used to have Taekwondo, and I used to take that, and I used to take boxing too. And now I was just in there playing ping pong.
I come here to do my homework. It's a very positive place to be, positive attitude. Give you things to do on the weekends when you're bored.
It also introduced me to nice people, a bunch of friends, a bunch of volunteers. Make me want to volunteer when I get older to help the community. I also work with kids with special needs at St. E's, and it helped me connect with people with special needs.
We are the Peter Paul Development Center. We are abuzz with possibility, with energy, with that audacious love that John Coleman Jr. had for this community. We invite you to join us.